Hello. So today we're going to share with you Anna's birth story. Carlo's going to share too because I think he has some things to share because it was completely unlike any of the other four that we had. So as you know, maybe if you follow me on social media, I had like prodromal labor for weeks. I was having, but that's not too much of a change for me. I typically always get really strong contractions leading up to the birth. I remember for my last one for Gianluca, like I went to the hospital twice within like the 3 weeks before he was even actually born because I was like, I think it's time. And because my third birth was so fast, like we were literally at the hospital and then she was born, like literally walked in the door and she was born. So I was a little bit paranoid that I was going to not even be there on time. Anyway, so for this one, it was kind of like the same thing. I was a little anxious, but I was like, I'll know when it's time to go. Like I was praying and I was like, God, just like tell me when I need to go. So last Thursday, I went last Monday to the OB and he checked me and I was like 3.5, 4 centimeters, but he's like, I can feel your membranes. I was like, okay. The baby was low, like had been low for the whole time. So anyways, Thursday comes and like I just hadn't really been feeling super great for that entire Thursday. Just like really gassy and like nauseous. Like I felt nauseous all day. Of course, contractions on and off, but no different. Like that's like any other day. And then I remember after I put the kids to bed, I was like, just felt so tired. And I was like, I really freaking hope the kid doesn't come tonight because I'm too tired. Like I don't have the energy to have a labor. And then I was laying in the bed like having some contractions and just like I said, I felt super nauseous. And Carlo came home. What time did you come home?
About 9:30 p.m.
Yes, so like 9:30ish, and I was like dozing, reading my book. And he was like, "Are you okay?"
She wasn't okay.
I didn't look well. I told him I'm very nauseous. I don't feel good. I kept thinking like I was gonna throw up or like have diarrhea or something. Like it just, I didn't feel good. So he was whatever making his dinner, and then I did go to bed, or trying to, and he came to bed finally, like 10ish maybe, a little after.
Sure.
I don't know, and I think I got up like 10:30 to go to the bathroom because I thought I was going to be sick. And then I started having like diarrhea, which is like so nice. So I was like, oh, that's like why I'm having like weird contractions. Like I'm sick. This is cool. So I came back to bed, and it was like very like I did fall asleep, but it wasn't like a sound sleep. Gianluca woke up, so I went and got him, put him in our bed. He fell asleep. And I was still awake, so then I went and put him back in his crib, and I lay down for a little bit, and then I was like, I had a contraction, like a surge, and it was like, I was like, I have to poop. So I went, sure enough, I was pooping, but it was just like, I just didn't feel good. Like, I can't even explain how I felt. And did I wake you up then?
Yes. Which probably that was the time then...
and I was like, Carlo, I think it's time to go.
Yeah, well.
And he, of course, wake him up in the middle of the night, and he's
like,
like,
ready. We just get everything. We got everything ready and out of the house in 5 minutes, probably.
No, I didn't want to go. I got you up.
Well, she didn't want to go, but I made her go.
I went back in the bathroom, and I was having the diarrhea. And I was like, I just don't know. But then my water broke. So I was like, oh my gosh.
She was being very slow, just
yes.
In general. She was just taking a while. Like I was ready from zero, and the car was really warm and everything.
I was taking a long time.
I mean, long time in those, in that kind of situation.
I wanted to make sure that I wasn't like just sick, because I was like, if I'm gonna be having diarrhea, I don't want to.
Yeah, but I knew it was different. I knew it there was not the Caitlin that I know. I know them. We had to run. I mean, that was the fifth baby, and we had 4 before, and I kind of. Every
he
time
was paranoid that we weren't going to make
this
it.
weird feeling, and then it's not the day of, but it's about right now, like we're gonna go.
So I finally called my mom, and like I called her, and I had another contraction. I was like, well, we're leaving now, so the kids are in the bed. This was like 1 o'clock.
Then we called the hospital.
12:30. We left here at like 12:30. And I called the hospital, so they knew we were coming.
Was it that late?
Yes.
Yeah, we called the hospital as we left the house, and she told the hospital, oh, we'll be there in 20 minutes. And then we show up like in 10 minutes. She goes, oh, I told you guys.
You drove too fast. Anyway, so we got there, we went upstairs, I got in my gown, they called the doctor, blah, blah. In the meantime, like, I'm pretty sure I was sick again on the toilet. They hooked me up to the monitors. But it was weird because then, like, at that point, my contractions had, like, slowed down. Like, they seemed to be getting a little farther apart. And I was like, great. Like, what is going on? So the doctor, the on-call doctor who I'd never even met came. She checked me, and I was still only, like, 3.5 centimeters. And I was like, awesome.
But the water was broke.
Right.
So
which I forgot. He had to run back in the house before he left to get a towel because I was like, I don't want to like make a mess.
So we didn't have the choice. Had to be.
Right. She admitted us because she's like, your waters have broken. Like, because when she texted me, she couldn't feel them anymore intact. So she's like, you are having a baby. And I just remember I kept telling everybody like, I'm tired and I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I was like out of body. It was very weird for me because it's not usually how I am. So then, because I was only like 3.5 centimeters, and the doctor asked me, she's like, do you want an epidural? And I was like, I had never had one before. But at the rate like things were going, like it felt like everything was slowing down.
Everything we were going to wait for.
Yeah, and she's
4 more hours.
Yeah, and the way the doctor told me, she's like, well, yeah, she's like, you can get one, we'll call, they'll be here in like 20 minutes, then you can rest before, you have this baby. And I was just thinking, like, rest, like, yeah, I want to freaking rest. But it was just very strange because it's not, every time with all my other births, I, like, get to the hospital and it's like, I'm in transition and it's like the baby is born. Like, Gianluca, I was only there for an hour and he was born. So,
yeah.
Did you poop? Did you?
Probably.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was sick a few more times on the toilet. The lady came to give me my epidural, and as she was giving me the epidural, would you care to share what was happening on your end? Carlo, I was making Carlo sick. He was like almost passed out.
Well, yes, right.
Do you want to share that? You were.
Well, there's nothing to share.
Yeah, he doesn't want to say. Anyways, I remember like looking at him and he was like sweating profusely and was so white. And I was like, what is your problem?
Well, I'm looking at the needle. I'm thinking, I don't want the needle in my back.
And I told him not to look because the doctor said it was big and I didn't even want to look. So, why are you laughing? Anyways, I'm sitting on the edge of the bed and she's doing the epidural and I literally had 2 back-to-back contractions. And I was like, okay, like something, like the baby is coming all of a sudden. It's coming. So, what happened next, babe? I don't know. I just kind of remember, like, I don't really remember a whole lot. Just other than I felt so sick. I continued to feel so nauseous, and Carlo was holding the puke bag for me because I was like, like dry heaving a little bit into it. And at that point, so the epidural was in, they like put me on my back, which is, I do not like to be on my back, and I knew I had the epidural, so that was going to be an issue. as I had those 2 contractions, like, the epidural was working on one side of my body, but like right here, I still could feel my contraction in this area, and it was more intense than like just having a contraction, and I was like, holy crap. So they put me on my back. The doctor checked me, and she's like, your baby is there, you're 10, like it's coming. And I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. Literally was crying, dry heaving. And I don't know, at that point, my left leg was so freaking numb. It was just weird for me. Like, I guess I wasn't expecting that from the epidural. They told me, like, I would still feel some contraction pain, but, like, very reduced. Anyway, so, like, I literally couldn't feel my leg, so I'm there on my back, dry heaving into the thing. And the nurses, like, put my legs up, and then it was time. No, not right now, please. I don't know. I was trying to push, and I couldn't even push because I could not feel this side. Like, I could not feel my pelvis, not even a little bit. All I could feel was my lower abdominal right here. And every time I was having a contraction, I was, like, breathing through the contraction, trying to push, but I was like, she's like, that's not the way you push when you have an epidural. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I cannot feel anything. Vito, out, please. It was just really weird. And at that point, as I was on my back, and I pushed a few times, my contractions, like, were not coming. Stop, Vito. Go see your father. Out. Sorry. No, they just were like stopping, and I was like laying there, and I'm like, I can't feel my leg. I'm going to be sick. I don't know what's going on. I can't even feel the baby to push it out. Like, I was crying, and I was like, it's stuck. It's not coming out. I only pushed, like, it wasn't even for 10 minutes, and then the baby was born. But during that time, of course, Carlo just went, but he was, like, super panicked because he's, like, saw that I was, like, not able to feel or push anything, and he was, like, I thought that they were going to have to take us in for a C-section. He's, like, I don't even know. It was, like, not good. And then she came out, and that was it. And then she ended up, she had a knot in her cord, which was, like, completely, Juju, she's sleeping, completely, I can't remember the nurse, she's like, we see one, like, in every year, we see one, you know, who knows how long she had that there, if it happened, like, during labor, that she, like, flipped around and knotted it, or whatever, but totally random. So, that was it, and then they, you know, they put her on my belly, and they're like, it's a girl, and I was like, what? Like, I could have sworn it was a boy. So then, and I was just crying because I was just so relieved that the baby was out, and I was like, well, I can't feel my freaking ass now, or my leg. Just the weirdest experience, and if I had known that's how I was going to feel with the epidural, I would not have done it. But when they asked me for it, it was like, the doctor was like, you know, you got a while to go, like, you're only 3.5 centimeters, and, like, my contractions were dying down, like, it was just the weirdest labor, because it was, like, extremely intense, nothing, and then intense, like, baby's coming now, like, literally, it wasn't even a half an hour after they put the epidural in my back that the baby was born. They put it in at, like, 2:45, and she was born at 3:19, so, very strange. So there's that, the 5th baby on a Noelle. I would pick her up right now, but she's sleeping. So I'll show you. Here she is. Anna. Oh. The tiniest little baby. 6'14". So there you have it. I just wanted to share that in regards to the difference between, like, a natural and epidural, and I'll have to share my natural stories. Look at this, my belly. At another time. So, there you have it.